Alex, can you give us your reasoned verdict after that excellent performance in now looking back on it?
As I said, post the Glasgow performance, I didn't think we were far off, Chris. I thought there was small percentages in areas, most areas, which you punish more against the better teams. So we asked for small percentages, like 3 or 4 rucks out of 100 make the difference against the better teams, and we got that. We got that improvement. Like, again, breakdown efficiency was at 83%, and we got to 87%, and then it highlights the difference at this level, how much those small margins makes a big difference. And that was across the board, barring set piece, which, that was the exception, not the norm this weekend in terms of the line-out winning. But there's some decent athletes. They're all like 6'8", those Racing lads. So they get up and they get up high and they spooked us a bit. But everywhere else we were on point. And it's rewarding to know that the things we'd worked on, the power game, the defence, the breakdown, and our excitement levels in attack all came kind of to the fore in front of that home crowd.
Do you feel it was an important one in terms of the players really believing now in what you've been trying to put into practice, bringing all those things you mentioned together?
Chris, that is the most rewarding thing, really. Because we had, as you know, we had to rest a few against Glasgow, but it was still a strong team we put out. And then when you get kind of drummed, as we did, 35-19, whatever it was, and we met in a cafe in Manchester on Monday morning, as I said, because we were at the 30-man sauna, and I'm sat there with the game drivers, these are the leaders, and we're asking about what the reflections were, and it was Ben Curry, our captain, said, we feel we're going down the right direction here, Al. It's been 3 or 4 weeks since we've changed our principles and our language and our policies, and we want to keep going down the way that we've set ourselves to, and then you can go, right, brilliant, we've got them. Like their belief in what we were doing and the way we're going was proven at the weekend. So a big relief, actually. I'm elated for the performance, but it's more of a relief that what the things we put into place do work against good teams.
Ben appeared to get some kind of groin area thing at the end. Is Ben okay?
Yeah, just heavy-legged he hasn't played a lot, has he? He didn't play a lot over the autumn, came back, Leicester had his week off, and then played a full 80, so just his body complaining. He's fine, good to go.
And we always know that Tom brings that physicality, but Ben just seems to have stepped it up as well. I mean, it's just relentless with him.
Both sides of the ball, yeah.
Stop hitting people.
Both sides of the ball, stripping shot. Not many people do that. Decision making was good. He wanted to carry, but he said I was a bit disappointed in the number of carries that he had. I thought he was influential, both sides. Yeah, looked physical.
And update on Tom?
Yeah, it went really well. It's quite new procedures, the stem cell stuff, but everyone's really happy with his progress. He's been in this week, buzzing around, and feels good in body and mind. So, I'm happy we did that for his, for his long term benefits. He could have played, but it's important that we look after him.
Hector can't win a Premiership game, but they get pretty close. They're patently not as bad. Do you look at the basic record, you think, what a dreadful season. Yeah. But at times they've been very dangerous, haven't they?
They have, and we look at the things that we think are important around our own game, and we compare ourselves to them in terms of their league standing. And I'll just mention a few, just what we've said to the boys, to heighten our awareness to the threat that they are. They are around about level pegging with us in terms of set-piece dominance, so scrum and maul dominance up in the top 4. They kick a lot of contestable kicks, and more so since the Prem Cup, around second in the league. So there's a kick compete and a really aggressive kicking strategy that they have. They've got some really dangerous strike runners, as we know, in favour of Bosso and the likes of Hodge, Woodburn if he's back, Slade, who, gets the ball into his hands, and they are number one for tackle dominance. So if you just look at those stats alone, it shows you they're a side, and the results of which are not really comparing to some of their abilities on the field. They haven't. Where they're failing and where they're looking to get right probably is in either end of the 22. They might concede a little bit too easily and they're not scoring as often as they should. But the means and ways of getting there and making them a competitive side are evident to see if you just look at the stats.
Which brings us nicely on to aerial dominance. Your right wing, as Ben was talking about afterwards, is just an incredible athlete in the air, isn't he?
Yeah, the lads told Ben to give his Man of the Match award to Tom Roebuck when he come in on Monday, because they all voted him as best player on the field. It's just one of his qualities. I thought he looked really sharp stepping off his outside foot as well. I thought he looked really good and finished his try well, didn't he? So there's, he's multi-layered, multifaceted rugby player, but with this new adaptation to kick contest, it's really highlighted his X factor, his superpower, which is to climb and to snatch and to slap back the ball.
Have you known a player with that sort of ability?
Liam Williams, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, except for Liam Williams, who is a man apart, isn't he? Is he getting up there with Liam?
Yeah, I would say he is.
With less bandy legs?
Less bandy legs. Liam has got bigger hands. I've never seen hands the size of it. He's a freak, and obviously that helps him, his little tendrils as he's climbing in the air, and he's so fearless. Liam was so fearless, but I see those traits in Tom. He never takes his eye off the ball, and if anything, is Tom a better athlete? Probably, I'd say. He's a little bit bigger. No one's tougher than Liam. He's tough as old boots, isn't he? Been a scaffolder of trade. He was. So it'd be interesting to see how he goes at Sarries, but yeah, comparable to, and having the potential to be better than, and that's, we're talking about a British Lion there, aren't we? So it's in decent company. It's Tom Roebuck.
Fantastic. Thank you, Alex.
Cheers, Chris.
Hi, Alex. Just to pick up on the Exeter stuff, obviously conceding 64 against Toulouse, as Toulouse have proven, they can do that pretty much against anyone. I'm sure you've done some analysis on it. What did you pick up out of that game? What were the traits that you saw?
Excuse me. Still digesting our Christmas lunch, hence the hat. Very, very competitive at the breakdown. Didn't manage to... when Toulouse did go to the deck and the ball did go to a breakdown, as opposed to it being offloaded as often as it was, they really, really competed hard there. I think they showed some really good resilience. I know 6 scoreline doesn't really reflect it, but it didn't look like that kind of a game. I watched it, obviously. It didn't look like they were getting hammered. There was just a few moments of real brilliance from Toulouse. And like you say, they're doing that against anyone. Like, they're playing rugby from a different universe at the moment. Like, every facet. It's a very difficult team to play against. I thought aspects of the scrum, not just against Toulouse, but against the Sharks, Exeter's scrum was really strong. What can you take out of that? Well, just what I've said, in analysis of, we've done our analysis, we've watched Toulouse, and Toulouse's ability to keep the ball quick, to not let it get to a kind of turgid one pass, like man versus man macho kind of wrestling match, because I feel that's where Exeter, being as angry and desperate as they are, where they've been really strong, where they matched Bath, actually. When Bath started playing driving and coming round the corner and one-off rugby, they looked pretty ordinary against a really physical Exeter defence. So Toulouse, with the movement of the ball and the shift in the point of attack, were able to exploit soft shoulders and score some fantastic tries. So the long and the short is that don't get into an arm wrestle with a real big, angry, desperate team.
You mentioned sort of details and areas that they're good at. They've traditionally been good at the line out.
Yeah.
Against Racing, you went, I think it was 12 out of 18. Have you been able to identify maybe what went slightly awry on that evening?
Yeah, short turnaround. There's no excuses, these are all reasons. So on a short turnaround, and we brought Will Griff-John back into the fold. He played really well for 70 minutes. You miss out on a line-out session, so that affected it. Johnny coming back in and calling, that's a new person in the helm who hasn't been there for a while. So we lost a little bit of tempo. That is, there's a general philosophy that if you can go into the line-out and win and deliver the ball in 4 seconds, you have a higher percentage chance of winning it. And we lack that speed into the line-out and the ball being in and away. So then you get bogged down into movements within the line-out. And they've got some very good athletes, which spooked us at an occasion. They weren't near the ball, but the ball was travelling over them to try and beat them for height. And with our drill not being as good as it has been in terms of our lifts, we were missing them by 3 or 4 inches, and that's the difference in these kind of games. So we got spooked. Our drill could have been better, and our speed into the line and getting the ball away could have been better as well.
You spoke recently about how these next few weeks were going to be defining for the season. Is that still how you feel?
100%, yeah. Still a lot, I won't say pressure, because I'm kind of revelling in it. It's where we're best. It's where we're best. It's with something to fight for, and backs against the wall and points to prove, and it's still the case. We've had a couple of good games and one not so good, so still all to play for in a Christmas period, and I'm not hoping. You don't hope for other people, but I know how it goes this time of year. The white noise that surrounds Christmas, the law to spend time with families and switch off is omnipresent. Whether you're playing professional sport or otherwise, and the key has been able to do that and then switch back on when you come in. So we want to enjoy Christmas, but we've got a job to do. We know that.